Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Friday edition of Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am your host, Scott Steehn. I'm the lead handicapper over at winnersandwiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over at winnersandwiners.com.
And together we make up Heading Back to the Window, the Heading Back to the Window show, Scott. Well, we're kind of off to a shaky start there. I'm having issues, buddy. That's what I'm saying to you. I've been without power. I got power back just a couple hours ago. I was without power all night. I didn't do a regular video. I didn't do a premium video, and everything's just my Spotify's not working. So we're gonna be without sound effects today. You guys are just gonna have to imagine what donkeys sound like. It's gonna be awful.
Or maybe you can just do the sound effects yourself. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, whatever. Brandon Kubas wants to know if we're going to talk a little UFC. I know you're excited about the UFC card this weekend.
I am. I'll do a video tonight. It's either going to be my actual Scott Selections video or I'll do a bonus one. But I'm definitely going to cover some of the UFC fights because it's a big card. I'm going to be entertained by it, and I got a couple thoughts as well.
Very good. All right, very good. And how'd you end up yesterday?
Overall, went pretty well. Now, I have one winner for my play of the day yesterday. I had the Grizzlies team total under 114.5. Closed to 111.5, didn't matter. Finished at 104 after overtime. So I really picked the sweat-free winner before it was tied after 48 minutes. But 6-3 overtime. Beautiful thing in the NBA. You don't see that often, but...
No, and that's a nice, you're really beating the line move there as far as the team total under goes. So
yeah, you're not used to seeing 3 points of differential or so. But either way, looking at everything else, I had a really bad beat for a 16-1 parlay. I did a same game parlay on the football game yesterday. I had the Packers money line with Mercedes Lewis anytime touchdown score, and that paid out at 16-1. Lewis catches a one-handed touchdown. Yeah, his foot was out of bounds, and he did not get another attempt in the end zone. Green Bay won the game, so I missed out on a 16-1 by about, I don't know, the top half of his foot, give or take.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a tippy toe close thing.
No, it's just one of those situations where you got the guy who's about plus 700 as one leg, and he actually gets targeted in the end zone, which is half the battle.
Makes the great catch. Makes the
one-hander, and it's just like, nope, sorry, don't worry about it.
He forgot he was no longer in college, because in college that'd have been a winner right there, bud.
Yep, would have been.
Nathan Stern in the house says, I don't know how the Warriors shit the bed with a fatigue team.
Well, Curry couldn't have shot for the entire fourth quarter in overtime.
That's very bizarre. Super Sly in the house says, happy Friday. Another sad Warriors tale.
I had the team total, so even though the Grizzlies won, the total went under for them. So somehow kind of threaded the needle on that one.
You know what, Scott? I'm excited. I've had news for the last couple of days. I've forgotten to share because we've gotten busy. We started talking sports and all that stuff. But the Savannah Bananas are coming to KC.
Nice.
You remember this is the team we talked about with all the weird rules. And I don't know how many guys saw our show when we talked about this team, but they play banana ball, and they don't play it every game, but about 6 or 8 times a year they'll go and they'll play, and they play some at home and they play some on the road. So here's some of the rules, and I want everybody to come to KC to do this. It's the Kansas City Monarchs, minor league, unaffiliated independent league team, and the Savannah Bananas. Every inning counts, Scott. So whoever wins the inning, that's 1 point. So if you win the first inning 2-1, that's 1 point for you. It's 1-0. First 1 to 5 wins. Time limit of 2 hours. If it's 2 hours, you go to the tiebreaker format. One of my favorites, by the way. No stepping out of the batter's box. It's a strike if you step out of the batter's box. No bunting. The batters can steal first. There's a wild pitch, pass ball. Batter could just take off. There's no walks. They throw a fourth ball. The batter takes off towards first base. Catcher has to throw the ball around to every defensive player before that player stops running. My personal favorite, any foul ball into the stand, Scott, if you catch it, what happens?
It's an out.
It's an out. It's an out. So the crowd gets involved. The players will be so obviously if your home team and hits a foul ball, you don't want to catch it. You want to drop it. You want to. There's no infield fly rule. So anyway, I'm excited about that. I want you guys, everybody, if you have an opportunity, if you're in the area, Scott said, "Are you committed? Are you coming, buddy?"
You got to give me the dates on that, but I'll definitely look into it.
It's May 6th.
Okay.
May 6th. You didn't think I was going to hit it that quick, did you? It's May 6th.
Knowing how excited you are, I'm actually not surprised you have the date just memorized in your head already.
I've been to the ticket. I've been to the site. You cannot get tickets yet, but I'm on the email list as soon as tickets become available.
That's still another reason, even just besides the actual event. It's the fact that even though we've had a show together for about 2 years or so, we don't really see each other in person.
Nope.
Basically ever.
Nope.
So yeah, it would be nice to, get over to Kansas City and see what's up.
There you go. Very good.
We can see the Royals, who might be in 4th place at the time.
They could be mathematically eliminated by that weekend. So
they could be, but Perez might have 35 home runs.
That's right. T-Train's in the house. JC Stone in his house. JC Stone wants to know if we're going to be doing a college football video. Yes, we're going to be doing it right after this. We're going to take a little break of about 10 minutes. Get a little cup of tea to refresh our vocal cords. Maybe drain the lizard, and we'll be right back and going to do our top 25 college football video. So,
which might be a little bit shorter than usual because it seems like a decent amount of teams on bye.
Yeah. There's definitely a few. What else? Oh, don't forget to smash that like button. See, it's got them getting better. I remember the first 10 minutes, so that's something. So yeah, smash the like. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Follow us on Twitter. You know the drill. So anyway, I had another rotten day yesterday. Other than having my power go out, games were horrible. It was supposed to be raining a deluge with the monsoons there in Coastal. It kind of calmed down. They scored a shit ton of points, and Green Bay was able to take advantage of 2 turnovers inside the 15-yard line, and Rodgers did what Rodgers does, and an unbelievable.
We'll get into that in a second.
Unbelievable play to almost end that game. So anyway, let's get started. No sound effects, Scott. No, my world is everything is upside down. Down is up is down. But let's do it. Let's just muddle through. It is time to find out who took it in the shorts, buddy. Who thought they had a winner, only to have a victory snatched away at the last moment. It's time for Call the Cops. Woo, 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 woo. All right, here you go. Hey, if you had the Packers Cardinals over 50.5, maybe you heard about this one already. It was an epic bad beat. It's 24-21. Green Bay had the ball with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. First and goal at the 3-yard line. We'll just cut through the chase and say goal line stand by Arizona. We could spend another 10 minutes on what was wrong with that sequence.
By the way, what the hell was that delay of game taking on 3rd down?
Oh, they had no timeouts.
What was that?
You mean, why did they do it? Why did they take it?
I know they had no timeouts, but worst case scenario, aren't you just going to sneak the damn thing? I just found the whole thing bizarre.
Yes, that was a strange set of it was the whole thing with the whole set of downs was very bizarre. But and I didn't really care for the personal foul penalty that set everything up down there.
Yeah.
I thought that was
I thought that was a terrible call too. But
yeah,
whatever.
That was very strange. So anyway, Arizona gets the ball left about 4 minutes. They execute their 4-minute drill to perfection. They go 94 yards. They've got the ball second and goal from about the 6 or so. 15 seconds left, and one of the most bizarre passes and non-receptions you'll ever see, Scott.
Definitely up there. I mean,
I don't know how to explain what AJ Green was doing. Completely had his back turned as the pass was in the air, and never got his head around. And it was
some people were trying to argue in a group chat I was in that he was a decoy in the play. No, he wasn't. He's isolated top of the screen, 101 coverage against a guy Green Bay signed about 2-3 weeks ago from the practice squad. Yeah. I think that's the matchup you want.
Yeah. That's I don't understand. I never saw
And Green was the number one red zone option because DeAndre Hopkins barely played in the entire second half. So I think he was basically the de facto wide receiver one. You got the matchup you wanted, and yeah, Green just didn't turn around.
DeAndre Hopkins was your decoy for
pretty much because he couldn't move.
Pretty much since from the first quarter when he re-injured when he tweaked again. So yeah, I don't know. Very strange situation there. And I think they deserved, well, both of those teams deserved a better fate and a worse fate. Can we agree with that?
Yeah, Green Bay, you can make an argument, should have lost just because of the fact that, yeah, 1st and goal at the 3, you can't punch it in. If you let the team go 99 yards to lose the game in about 2 minutes, you deserve to lose.
Right, and then you can make the case that Arizona deserved to lose because of all the stupid turnovers and the ridiculous touching the ball on the punt and then acting like you didn't touch it, like we're in the 1950s and there's no fucking replay. Have you ever seen a guy look guiltier? I mean, there's always the you always throw your hands up like I didn't touch the guy, but that dude just absolutely looked guilty standing there when you saw the replay. He knew he touched it.
Yeah, he knew he messed up. You always have a couple of those where you end up seeing the punt returner kind of like half deke it, but not actually. I think of Kyle Williams in that NFC title game against the Giants, where he fumbled twice on the punt return for San Francisco. And the one hit his knee, and he starts to go after the ball, and then he backs up, like, I'm going to try to play this off. And it's like, no, we have video now. It's not 1970. Like, it clearly hit your knee.
Right. Brown's backer in the house, by the way. He had Hopkins' first TD and the face mask.
That was the correct call for the face mask. Hopkins didn't need to do it, but that's a pretty bad beat there when he's completely burned him and he just decides, I'm just going to grab this guy's face mask. Because even if you just shove him in the chest or just push his face mask, he's not going to get tackled there.
Yeah, no. I mean, here's the problem with that. I've seen more not called. I've seen more egregious runner to defender face mask situations and not get called.
See, I grew up watching Marion Barber run the ball for the Cowboys, and he was the master of the offensive face mask penalty. He was the original guy who would just absolutely yank the defender's face mask basically off of their head, and he would never get a call against them. I loved it as a fan, but just witnessing that, I was kind of wondering, shouldn't that be a penalty? So yeah. I'm kind of happy to see it go both ways, but that's a bad beat if you had Hopkins' first touchdown.
Yeah, it really was. Couple guys took it in the shorts yesterday as well. I'm bringing that back. I don't even know. It's something my dad used to say. God knows how old that saying is.
I never heard the expression before you started saying it.
Well, I'm trying to bring it back, buddy. Hashtag took it in the shorts.
Fair enough. But
you got another one? You got another bad beat?
Looking at one I actually had, it was Mercedes Lewis anytime touchdown at plus 750. I mentioned it before because I had a 2-pick parlay with the Packers money line, but Mercedes Lewis makes a really nice one-handed catch for a touchdown, has 1 foot out of bounds, so it ends up not counting as a touchdown. Next play, Rodgers rolls out. Lewis is wide open, middle of the field, and yet Rodgers didn't see him, and he ended up throwing it to somebody else. Lewis never got another target in the red zone again, but he was on the field for a lot of red zone snaps, got a target, caught it, just had a foot out of bounds. So that's a pretty tough beat there for plus 750.
That doesn't sound like our Bet the Farm play ended well.
It did not. But
oh my goodness. Hey, if you were watching hockey, if you'd given up on football and you said, what about hockey? Yeah, the Coyotes and the Lightning under 5.5. Well, 5 goals with less than 2 minutes left. Now, this isn't a pull in the goalie situation, Scott.
They were down 3 goals, so I doubt it.
That's what I'm saying. But Tampa Bay just decided to score anyway. And it's 1:37 left. Sorry, guys. That was really a great play for 58 minutes and 23 seconds. However, it didn't work out for you. Game ended up 5-1. Call the cops.
Yep, not ideal.
All right. Okay, so this will be our opportunity. Somebody said the other day that we need a new sound effect for a rocking chair. And I tried to find like a rocking chair squeaking when we set this show up. I could not find one anywhere. So this will be our opportunity to try out a new sound effect. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Well, Scott, the opposite of call the cops. These are the victories that were no sweat at all. You know who you are. You had the winner the entire way because you were sitting in the rocking chair. Eek, eek, eek.
I think I prefer the other one, to be honest. I like the effort though, but feel like the other one's a little bit better.
All right. Well, I'm a work in progress in a lot of areas, my
We
friend.
just get a sound effect of just, I don't know, somebody smashing a chair or something. Does that work?
Yeah, that's very good.
Cool.
All right, go ahead, brother.
So, first one was a game that I had. I had the team total under, but if you had the Grizzlies Warriors full game under 228.5, 196 in regulation, game went to overtime, but you had 9 points in overtime. Game landed at 205.
9 points in overtime. It sounds like a monkey fight in the alley, man. It really
I
does.
watched it.
Here's a nice beat from Miguel and Nola. Said Edmonds had 9 carries, finished with 7. He had 3 runs called back on holding penalties.
That's not fun either.
That's not
Edmonds is such a good player, and Arizona just never uses him. It's really weird.
Zach Vaughn said we just made him laugh out loud in the office. You got to keep that down in case the boss is walking by. Although it's Friday afternoon, probably wherever you are, the boss is gone. So yeah, fuck it, laugh out loud. Glad we could do that. Hey, if you had the Jazz -9, Jazz. That was a nice, easy win over the Rockets. As you suspect, they might blow the Rockets out. They did. They were up by 21 at halftime. Didn't even take their foot off the gas. They ended up winning by 31. Scott, if you had the Jazz over the Rockets, you were sitting in the rocking chair.
Can you believe it? The Jazz in the regular season, a very good basketball team. Who would have thought?
Oh, I bet this is the year in the playoffs, buddy. I got a feeling.
I'll tell you what. If there was a year, it would be this year because half the West is just dead, just based on the injuries. So maybe they can make it past the second round for once. But anyway, look at the last one in basketball. If you had the Spurs and Mavericks under 221.5, 96 points in the first half, game landed 203.
Beautiful. Sebastian A is in the house. He said, holy crap, I finally caught y'all live. We felt the same way about you. I saw you pop in. I was like, holy crap, we got Sebastian here today. So
how you doing?
Very good. Legacy talks about what we talked about the other day about the NBA games have been trending under.
I said that earlier this week. That's why I keep taking unders.
I just said that.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
Yep.
You even listen to the show? I know you don't listen after we're done. Do you listen while we're doing it?
I'm sorry, you say something?
Okay, fair enough.
What?
All right. I'm gonna you watch. You're gonna do this sound effect?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know. If you want to, I'll let you do the honors because you kind of set the bar with the rocking chair.
All right, you chicken shit. All right, here we go. Let's find out who's wearing the golden feed bag today, Scott. Who is the Friday edition of Donkey of the Day? Meemaw! Meemaw!
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay.
That's actually not that bad.
Jesus Christ, we got to get our sound effects back.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going to the Radio Hall of Fame, brother. This is it. Mark this show. All right. I think we've already talked about it a little bit, but I'll let you make it official, my friend.
So, looking at this one, we already talked about it. It's AJ Green. You're on the goal line. You know Arizona has no timeouts. They have to throw it to the end zone for the next 2 plays. Kick a field goal on 4th down if you need it, but you don't even turn around. You're against a practice squad corner who just got promoted. DeAndre Hopkins is injured. You have ISO coverage, which you spend your entire career dominating. How do you not turn around for the ball? What do you think's going to happen on the play?
Yeah, see, you and I talked about that before the show. If that's a go pattern or a fly pattern, you're running down the field. You're okay. You don't turn around after 15 yards. Okay, that's understandable.
But there are other reads on the play.
If you're in the end zone, you're 2.5 yards, 3 yards from out of bounds. That's about the time to turn around because you might be getting the ball.
Yeah, Arizona's not going to want to waste that much time because they want at least 2 shots at it. So you're going to turn around, throw it probably 3 seconds later. So look around for the ball. If it's coming to you, catch it. If not, then you can do your thing.
Right. There seems to be no downside to turning around looking for the fucking ball. T-Train said keep that sound effect that I just did and move it to the end for a segment called "You Bet Your Ass."
That's not bad.
No, that is high quality shit right there, man.
That was a great catch on the interception, though, with the deflection and
Yes,
all.
totally
But
agree.
you got to blame Green there because the guy only intercepted it after Green completely just did not even sniff the ball.
You got to think at worst case scenario, Green would have broken up the pass.
Yeah, worst case scenario was going to deflect in another direction, but he didn't even get a fingertip on the ball.
Awful, just awful. So anyway, so what do we got? We got the World Series tonight. You excited about that?
Kinda. I mean, I'm not really rooting for any team in particular. I'm rooting for the guy in the comment section yesterday who said he has a free ticket on the Braves, so I'm rooting for you.
Yep.
But as a
Yep.
whole, I got Houston in 6. Did I bet it? No. That's just my thoughts on the series. Yeah. Are you excited per se? Because I know your team has been in it more recently than my team,
Yeah.
but I'm watching football most of the time, even basketball. So
Yeah. What kind of topsy turvy world is that, by the way, where the Royals have had more recent success than the Yankees? Okay. So here's an article says the play was called to the left. Kyler audibled and Green Bay did not.
no, and Green did not hear it.
Or Green. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Green did not hear. Oh, well. Okay.
Well, you said did not hear. My question is, how do you not see the audible? You don't see the quarterback making a bunch of funny faces at the line of scrimmage? He's got a hand on, he's doing like a moose pose. You can't tell that he's kind of audibling the play.
Yeah, it was, there was something definitely weird about it because AJ Green, obviously, for as much as we're roasting him, it's not because he's stupid. It's not
No,
because
he's been around for a long time. He's
it's
a
not
very
because
good receiver.
you've been probably a receiver for the last 20 years of your life at various levels. You know the turnaround in the end zone if the ball's coming.
And
So
you make an argument, well, he didn't know the ball was coming his way. That's fine. But if your argument is he didn't know about the audible, then he's still at fault for not knowing that there was an audible.
you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Either didn't hear it or didn't recognize it or whatever. So thought it was a decoy and it wasn't. I don't know. It was just, yeah. So as far as tonight's game goes, you and I, we were looking for, various bet the farm plays as we always do. We really do put our heads together for a pretty good period of time before the show starts and try to figure it out. And we looked at the baseball game and
we had absolutely nothing.
yeah, because well, it's kind of the wild card situation with the Houston pitcher where you don't know what you're going to get with Garcia. The Texas two-step out there. Is he going to be absolutely nails like he was his last time out when he went 5 2/3, gave up one hit? Are you going to get that guy, or are you going to get the guy that got shelled his other 2 starts, giving up 10 earned in 3 2/3 innings? So,
and I personally have more confidence in Anderson, but the Braves pull him extremely quickly.
Yeah, they're giving him no leash at all. Maybe they'd give him a little more room if it was in an American League park, but they are going back to Atlanta for this one. And he's pitched fairly well recently, and they've pulled him in the 3rd and 4th inning. So then you don't know what you're going to get as far as the bullpen situation goes. So we're going to watch it as fans. And, Browns backers has taken Atlanta in the over. That was first thought when I saw the lines. I'm still not going to play the under in this series. I'm just not going to do it because you've seen we've got either team capable of putting up 6 to 7 at any point. And, you're going to have a game where they're both going to do it. You just don't know which game it's going to be. So I certainly wouldn't play the under. If I had to gun to my head, if I had to play anything, the over 8.5 would be my play.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. We mentioned flaws with both starting pitchers in this matchup. So I think that even if one gets shelled, you're in pretty good shape. The bullpens have been pretty good in this series, though, so maybe a first 5 over if you're a little bit scared.
Yeah.
But I do think that this is a pretty even pitching matchup. I think Anderson's a bit better, but you can make an argument that they're both up and down, and both offenses have been pretty streaky in the series so far when both games are decided by multiple runs, one team winning either game. So the series has looked dead even, and the pitching has been a little bit. This pitching matchup's just really tough to call. You just blindly take whichever team's plus money and just hope for it.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I think you're gonna or bet the zigzag. Bet the Zag. We've had the Zig. Now bet the Zag.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian or was it scrolled up too fast, guys. Lawrence Anthony said if you had the under last night, the gambling gods love you. That's absolutely right. So, by the way, the next time you catch a really bad beat, if you had the under last night, and if you catch a bad beat this weekend, you can't bitch about it. That's the rules.
Reminder, by the way, if you had the over in that game, even a field goal and you have overtime.
You see, T-Trade just put the stat in the comments. Did you see that the Braves have lost 11 of their last 12 interleague at home?
I think they've won. Oh, they've lost 11 of their last 12? That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
See, that's what you that's what you're here for, because not only do we like give out facts and stuff,
we got sharp people in the comment section.
I've said it since I started here, man. We've got some of the sharpest handicappers and sports people out in the comment section. So very good. So, any interest in college football tonight? So, what do you got? So, we got no feel on the side. We're leaning over for the World Series.
As for the side, it's a complete pass. But since I have Houston in 6, I'm kind of obligated to take Houston at plus money.
Yeah, I'll take the plus money. That's kind of how I'm going to have to play this. Weird college football card. Not a lot of excitement there. You got Navy and Tulsa. The kind of the disappointment bowl. Two teams that have kind of underperformed. Although Tulsa, they're 3-4. Navy's 4-3, or they're 3-4. Navy's 1-6. Navy's a little better against the number.
How about that though? Navy recovers the onside, potentially is going to tie Cincinnati, loses the game. How about plus 11.5 against Tulsa? Kind of an interesting line, isn't it?
It is. It almost is. Is it too good to be true, Scott? Is it a banana in the tailpipe? Wouldn't you to take the public dog there with Navy at plus 11?
I'm still tempted by it though, because I don't know if Tulsa should really be favored by double digits over many teams in that conference. Navy's one of those teams that, even though they're not great, if you have an awful defensive game plan for the option, you're screwed. So I do think that Navy can find ways to milk the clock, make it a low-scoring game, and make it close. I'll go with Navy in the under.
Yeah, that's what we were talking. The Navy drives, they still do the running service academy thing where they have those long, excruciating drives.
Yeah, if Navy has the ball, you might want to do some laundry, do some chores around the house. You'll come back 10 minutes later, and they still have the ball. They just moved about 60 yards.
Yeah, you could pause it and then do some shit, and you come back and you just run it. You go fast forward, fullback dive, fullback dive, fullback dive. So yeah, it's not a fun team to watch. It is if you have them though. If you're backing them, because they can go on, especially if you have the under, because they can go on 6-minute drives. They get 45 yards, they'll still punt the ball, or they'll still fucking go for it on 4th down. And
do you think there's potential value on the money line? Because I'm curious if you think Navy can get the job done. Navy's fared well against Tulsa in the past, but Navy's been pretty awful this season as a whole. But I still think that if you want to talk about a team that has really struggled against the option in the past, it's Tulsa. So I do think you might be getting some value with a team that pushed Cincinnati to the brink. Maybe some of that momentum carries over. I think Navy might be able to shock some people and win this game.
Navy's been very good in Tulsa, and Lawrence is pointing that out as well. And that's when I was looking at this game. Tulsa has not been a good home team in this series, at least lately. Thank you for your service, by the way, Miguel. He said he was a retired Navy chief. So, yeah, he's got a dog in the fight tonight.
I'm in for that prop, Zach. Prop bet on what's the longest drive in terms of plays.
What is it? What's the number?
No, that doesn't exist. It's the longest touchdown would be a prop available. He's saying the number of plays on a drive. What's the most that you'll get in a game? Will you get a 16-play drive for a touchdown? Will you get a 14-play for a touchdown?
Well, I think the Navy game would be the one to play it.
It would be. That prop doesn't exist. I would love it if that prop did exist just for the fun of it. But I'm going to go with 17.
Yeah, he said they had a 20 plays the other week. That was the 20-play, 11-minute drive.
That was against Memphis, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the one he's talking about. That was brutal. All right, so you and I are on the same page there. A little value. You got a price on that? You got that number up? Money line?
For the money line, I see
380, 350.
Yeah, I see roughly 370.
Okay. All right, pretty good guess, right?
If you want to put a sprinkle there on a Friday night, I
Wouldn't
think
hate
there's
it.
worse bets than taking a triple option team against a team that it has owned in the past and trying to get plus 370 on it.
Yep, agreed. By the way, Tebow, they killed me too. I had Cincinnati to roll in that game. I was
Yeah.
stunned. You knew you were in trouble when Cincinnati went 3-and-out the first series, and then
Well, the issue that really just kind of showcased itself was that Ritter, as a passer, not really great beyond 15 yards.
not a big downfield guy yet. He's not making those pro throws.
No.
UNLV Nevada, Scott, it's the battle for I think it's the heaviest trophy that college teams play for. It's the 556-pound some sort of cannon that they
Can
have.
they just swap a cannon for like a roulette wheel or something?
You know,
Just have a trophy with a huge roulette wheel on it. You know, UNLV's got the slot machine for the turnovers on the sideline.
Right.
Give me a roulette or something.
The big 6 wheel. You know what the big 6 wheel is? You see those? You don't see them much anymore. They're the giant wheels, like a carnival wheel, and they'd have like dollar bills on them.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they need to like spin the.
I think I played that in the Bellagio. I think.
I'm sure you seem like that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. I dabble every now and then.
Dabble in the big. I'm a professional big 6 player. Really? Okay. How does that work out?
The loudest guy that's there, just fade him.
Yeah,
He'll lose in 20. He'll lose in 10 minutes.
No question about that. Yeah, Timothy Lindsay wants to know about the total. I think we're both leaning under in this one. Anything with Navy involved.
I can't take the over with Navy.
Plus, I'm not that Tulsa offense.
It's not good. It's been better, but it's not great.
They could, you know what? They can run the ball. They can run the ball a little bit, and
no, good. You want them to run the ball if you have the under, because you know Navy's going to run the ball.
No question at all. You got a thought on the UNLV Nevada game? To me, it seems like a lot of points.
I'm taking the points. UNLV is a team that I roasted going into the year because I thought this team would stink. They haven't won a game, but they have been surprisingly competitive in conference play. They blew a pretty decent lead against San Jose State last week. Nevada's good. I still feel like they're missing something every year. I don't know if it's a killer instinct that they're lacking or something.
Is it a bowl game? No, I know.
No, because they make it to the bowl game. The issue is that I just feel like they're a team that doesn't really lay it on teams that they should.
No, they definitely play with their food. They make too many trips to the buffet out there.
I saw that last year. I took Nevada against New Mexico, who was using like a third string quarterback, and that game was randomly close. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, UNLV, like I said, they're 0-7. They're 4-3 against the number. Every time they've had a double-digit spread, they've covered it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard, and it's a rivalry game, Scott. You've got Vegas versus Reno. Hard not to take the points there.
I also like that new quarterback UNLV used for the San Jose State game. Now, he didn't win the game, but if you actually watched him as a true freshman, I thought he actually looked decent out there.
He was all right.
Yeah, compared for UNLV quarterbacks, all right is a Hall of Famer right there because they don't have much. They don't have good quarterback play.
QBR is awful. It's like 28.
Surprisingly, though, it's a team high by about 25.
Thank you. Good night. I'll be here all week, folks.
Yeah,
tip your wait staff. You got a feeling on the total?
It's under a pass for me.
Really?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think that you can make an argument for the over because UNLV's defense has not been great, but it is a rivalry game. I still, for some reason, just think that this total's a bit high. I think Nevada might call off the dogs. I'll go with the under.
I think you're a bit high. Yeah, this one's going over. This is a Nevada team that wants to throw the ball some more. And
we'll see.
UNLV, they have just one problem on defense. They can't stop the pass. So I think there's going to be points. I think if UNLV keeps it close, which I think they will, I think they're going to have to chase.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay. Quick reminder, guys, you are listening to Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. And, of course, I would almost say stay tuned, but take a break, make a small bathroom trip there between shows because we'll be right back doing the live version of our preview show for college football top 25. So excited about that. We got the number 1 team back in play. And we've got a Presbyterian play that only we're going to talk about that. Well, that's a little teaser for the next show because we're going to talk about Presbyterian just a little bit. All right, buddy. Well, you know what? It's time to get to it. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to cover any of the NBA first.
Yeah, there's a fairly big NBA card. I know we got NBA fans out there. Yeah, give me let's take a couple minutes and do some NBA. You know me, Scott. I'm not I don't switch gears really well until football is kind of starting to peter out. So NBA, especially college ball, and I know there's a lot of value in early college lines, but I just have so much bandwidth as one single person. So I will sometimes give short shrift to the NBA. That's my point. No offense to any NBA people.
College basketball, about a week and a half. You know I'm ready to go.
I know you are. The weird thing is NBA is my best sport last year. And
Really?
Yeah. I was like 61% NBA. And
College basketball, I said before, I actually wrote it down. I think I had 108 picks. I went 63.2%.
You killed it.
Absolutely crushed it.
Nathan Cerna said, I can't wait to start slamming bets on Pine Bluff.
Hell yeah.
Man,
that Mississippi Valley State, Chicago State might be back in action. We really got a lot of stuff going on.
Season. I'm so excited. Yes, there are the man after my own heart right there. All right, so we got 7 games tonight. What are you digging on, bud?
Well, we talked about it before in the comment section and just in general. Unders have so far been the way to go in the NBA because players, especially, well, James Harden is an example, but a lot of players have really not fully adjusted to the referee swallowing the whistle. So you have seen a lot of, let's just say, questionable shot selections hoping for bailout calls, and you really haven't gotten them. And the more physical style of basketball has resulted in lower scoring games. My play today was in the Dallas-Denver game. I got it at 220.5. I got the under. It went to 215.5. So I beat a 5-point line move already. Hopefully that goes well. Other than that, I'm looking at the Miami under against Charlotte. I know Charlotte offensively is good. Miami's defense has not allowed more than 96 points in regulation this season.
Yeah.
I have to blindly take the under in every game they play, or at least the team total under for Charlotte.
Agreed. Especially that's a home game for Miami. I'm a big fan of that. I think there's value until the Nets show me a little bit more. I think there's value on the Pacers at plus 8.5.
The Nets aren't very good right now, and it's not a hot take. This team has played mediocre basketball. They should have lost to Philly, so the record should be even worse. But
right.
Indiana's defense is terrible, so I'm not looking at a total there. But I do think with Sabonis, with Turner, and even Brogdon has been great this year. Duarte has been a pretty good rookie. I do think they have enough talent to keep it close.
Yeah, that's the thing, and they haven't done a great job. They're just 1-4 on the season. They're 1-4 against the number, but I think it's a great opportunity for them to step up against a team they're pretty familiar with. And this is mainly for me a fate of a Nets team that just, like you said, they haven't got it together yet. They're still missing Kyrie.
Harden's played like garbage, but that's a separate story.
Silky Man says a great play on the great call on the Charlotte the other night. Yep, thank you very much. That was we did enjoy hitting that one.
I think there's value on Cleveland tonight. I don't think the Lakers are very good, and I'm not sure if LeBron or AD is going to play. We've seen what Westbrook can do when LeBron's not going to play. He'll put up a lot of double-digit stats.
Or not do. So AD's probable. LeBron's still questionable.
I'm looking at the under, though. The Lakers have played up tempo, but the Cavs have been in some really low-scoring games. The game against the Clippers was absolutely disgusting. That game got into the 170s, I think. But Cleveland has been, as what I said earlier in the week, a feisty team. They're young, but Mobley's been great defensively. Jared Allen's a very good rim protector. Their interior defense is actually very good.
You're good enough to take on AD?
An AD that's still hobbling around at like 80%.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers will win the game. I don't think they're going to lose to the Thunder and the Cavs back-to-back. But I do question, do I want to lay this many points when LeBron might not play? The answer is no.
Yeah, this is a Cleveland team that's won and covered 3 straight, including the 2 on their road trip. They're having a nice West Coast swing as they beat Denver by 12 as 9.5-point dogs, and they beat the Clippers by 13 as 8-point dogs. So you're not playing a back-to-back there. I like them in that spot.
I like the under as well.
Ride that hot hand and play the under 222. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, my friend, let's do it. Let's get it on here as you and I have put our heads together. We have come up with our best play for today. This one's going to really hurt. In a segment that we like to call Bet the Farm.
It's not bad. Nice.
All right, fine. All right, Scott. I swear to God, we'll have our sound effects back for the. Scott, what do you think about plus money line Pelicans versus Kings? Real quick.
I despise that Pelicans team, so I'm not interested.
Okay, very good. I know you can't ask him a question about the Pelicans. He hates them with a passion.
Without Zion, they were my favorite win total under on the year.
So for our bet the farm play, we are going to eschew the games tonight. We're going to pass on the 2 college games tonight. We're going to pass on the World Series game. We're going to instead take a look in the ranks of college football tomorrow, and this is going to be in the Big 12 as the Baylor Bears entertain the Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em horns. Nope, we're going to say down with your horns. As we are going to take the Baylor Bears -2.5. That's a -110 bet MGM. Texas, if you're not aware, they have lost lost their last 2 games, while Baylor has won each of its first 3 home games by at least 14 points. Roll on, Bears.
Including BYU, by the way. So they had beaten some decent competition at home.
Correct. It's not just the little sisters of the poor there in the Big 12 that they've been beaten up on, as well as Southeastern Louisiana. No, Baylor. They like to run the football. They're 12th in the country at yards per rush at 5.5. You know what Texas can't do, Scott? They cannot stop the run. That is not a good combination, as they are 112th in the country in defensive yards per rush at 5.2. I think the Baylor Bears run it early, often, and down the throats of the Texas Longhorns and cover that number. Give us the Baylor Bears, the green and gold, -2.5 over the Longhorns.
I think the best part of it is that even if Texas is winning in the 4th quarter, I did that before. I wasn't sure if you saw that.
I did.
But I did it before. But even if Texas is winning in the 4th quarter, good, because we've seen them blow every single week.
We got them right where we want them, buddy.
Got them right where we want them, where Sarkisian starts getting too conservative and blowing the game.
Browns backer says, I'm sick of Texas screwing me the last 2 weeks. Absolutely. Give it. Let's take a chance on them as play the other side right here.
By the way, Baylor, do they have the better coach in the matchup? Because I think they might.
Hot take, buddy. Hot take.
I'll tell you what, though. Baylor's coach, really, really good.
Marco says he's still fading Presbyterian. Dude, we're gonna
talk about it, but that's one of the most interesting lines on the entire card.
Yes, because we're gonna leave you with this. Presbyterian is the favorite, and we're gonna tell you how we're gonna play that on our next video. Stay tuned, guys, or come back and see us about 10 minutes. We'll be back with our college football show. That's going to do it for today's edition of Heading Back to the Window. As always, I have been Scott Steehn. He has been Scott Reichel. We thank you guys for stopping by. It's been a blast. Guys, have a great day. Stay tuned. We'll see you in just a minute. Later.